The moment you decide to enter the world of crypto, exchanges will become a regular part of your life. And you will soon discover that they are divided into two types: centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges. In this video, I'll tell you about their advantages and differences between them. Let's get started. My name is C. You are watching Novice Crypto channel, and don't forget to subscribe. Number 1. How do they function? Centralized exchanges have the way they work explained in their name. They are centralized. They are managed by one specific authority, usually a private company, and all trades are settled in the order book off the blockchain. Thanks to this, transactions on CEX are processed almost instantly, and you don't have to wait for them to actually take place on the blockchain, which would significantly slow down trading. Currently, the largest centralized exchange in the world is Binance. Decentralized exchanges work differently and do not have a single governing entity in the traditional sense. Of course, they were developed by someone, and someone is the official operator of their website where trades take place. But they work on the basis of smart contracts, which are built on top of the blockchain. All trades between individual users are recorded in these smart contracts, which makes trading slower. But thanks to this, the trade takes place exclusively between the seller and the buyer, and the exchange itself does not act as an intermediary. It only connects them. The largest DEX that runs on the Ethereum blockchain is Uniswap, and the second largest DEX is PancakeSwap, which runs on the Binance blockchain. Radium, which runs on the Solana blockchain, is also popular. Number 2. Security. Centralized exchanges do not support self-custody. This means that all funds you have stored on a CEX are under the management of the exchange until you decide to send them to your hot wallet or cold storage. This poses a risk because centralized exchanges are often targeted by hackers, although it is true that the largest players in the market, such as Binance, Coinbase, Crypto.com, and others, invest tens of millions of dollars in their security and are successful in this regard. At the same time, history teaches us that even the largest exchanges can disappear, along with their customers' money. Just look at the story of FTX. Decentralized exchanges are based on self-custody and therefore do not carry this risk. However, at the same time, they leave all responsibility on their users, and if they lose the password or seed phrases to their wallet, they will lose everything they had stored on it. The second risk is the fact that there are thousands of fraudulent projects on DEX, but we will talk about that a little later. Number 3. Features and user-friendliness. Centralized exchanges have a number of sought-after features depending on their size. In addition to classic cryptocurrency trading, the largest players on the market also allow leverage trading, the use of trading bots, peer-to-peer trading, earning yield, buying NFTs, applying for airdrops, and so on. However, the most important feature they have, unlike DEXs, is the ability to convert your money to crypto or vice versa, sell crypto, and send money to your bank account. These features are known as fiat on-off ramp. This alone is the reason why the absolute vast majority of people involved in crypto use them. In addition, centralized exchanges naturally include support, customer service, a knowledge base, and an effort to make everything user-friendly. Decentralized exchanges, at the time of this video, are nothing like this. They are based on a simple swap of tokens and coins between a seller and a buyer who are automatically connected by the system. If anything goes wrong, there is no customer service to turn to. And while the range of DEX features is minimal, it can take a while for a beginner to understand how it works. At the same time, it is important to note that there are already some projects on the market that are trying to bring the extended functionality offered by centralized exchanges to decentralized exchanges. It will be interesting to see how they fare. Number 4. Listed assets and trading pairs. Centralized exchanges have their own rules, based on which they decide which project to list and which not. In most cases, this is also associated with paying a listing fee, which usually ranges from tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars. For this reason, you will not find every project on every CEX. At the same time, centralized exchanges tend to offer more trading pairs, which makes trading more pleasant. In practice, this means, for example, that if you want to exchange your Ethereum for Solana, you can do it directly. You do not have to first exchange Ethereum for USDT and then USDT for Solana. Decentralized exchanges have no listing fees, and the listing process is significantly simpler than with CEX. However, this also carries risks. As a result, you will find a lot of fraudulent projects on DEX, which will sooner or later be rug pulled. Of course, the same is true with CEX, but depending on the strictness of the criteria of a particular centralized exchange, this risk is reduced. In addition, decentralized exchanges offer you much fewer trading pairs. Trading is more complicated, takes longer, and is more expensive. Number 5. Liquidity. Centralized exchanges clearly dominate in terms of trading volume and liquidity. The latter is extremely important because if you want to sell an asset with low liquidity, it will be more difficult to find a buyer for it. As a result, you will probably sell it for a worse price, and your profit will decrease. The largest exchanges on the market have a multi-billion-dollar valuation and cooperate with market makers, who ensure that they have huge liquidity. This will make your trading easier, although the presence of market makers in the market has its disadvantages. But we will talk about that another time. Decentralized exchanges have liquidity based on liquidity pools managed by the issuer of the token. This is inherently risky, as it has happened thousands of times that project authors have sold out the entire liquidity pool in a matter of seconds and disappeared. But regardless, most projects that you can buy on a DEX have liquidity in the tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if a situation arises where many holders decide to sell the project at once, you may encounter problems finding a buyer and will have to sell your position below the price. Number 6. Fees. Centralized exchanges close deals off-chain, so you can make thousands of trades and pay only minimal fees for them. This is because these transactions do not actually use the blockchain and therefore do not have to pay a fee to miners. You only use the blockchain when you decide to send money from the exchange to your hot wallet or cold storage, and then you pay a one-time fee. Its amount depends on the blockchain you use. Decentralized exchanges do all the trades on-chain, and this can significantly increase the cost of your trading, so take that into account before you fully dive into it. I personally paid the highest fee of around $70 for one swap so far because it was meme season and the Ethereum blockchain was overloaded. And I had the option to either wait for long hours for processing or pay the $70 to sell a position that finally turned profit after months of waiting. Thanks to that fee, my profit was ultimately worth one beer. That's what trading through decentralized exchanges is sometimes about. Number 7. Anonymity. All of the largest and most secure centralized exchanges on the market require KYC, which is an abbreviation of Know Your Customer. This means you will need to verify your identity to use them. And while you will still find smaller exchanges on the market that do not require KYC, with the upcoming regulations, it is only a matter of time before this changes. And besides, the smaller the centralized exchange, the higher the risk that you will somehow lose your deposited money. So take that into account if you insist on using non-KYC centralized exchange. Decentralized exchanges do not have KYC and have so far managed to successfully evade regulation due to the unique way they operate. So if you dwell on anonymity and you are willing to pay higher fees and not have so much comfort, trading on a DEX is for you. And as for my approach, I personally use both centralized and decentralized exchanges, although the latter to a lesser extent. So if you want to invest in riskier assets, learn to work with the aforementioned Uniswap, PancakeSwap, or Radium. I just repeat again that most projects that are traded on these decentralized exchanges will end up dead or rug pulled sooner or later. You need to be careful and manage your risk. Otherwise, definitely set up an account with one of the reputable CEXs depending on where you live. For North America, I recommend Coinbase. For the rest of the world, I recommend Binance. I will just emphasize that I personally do not mind KYC. I think it is part of the necessary development of the entire segment. And while I am not a fan of paying taxes, I am a fan of a good night's sleep, so I pay my taxes. Thanks for watching. Support my channel by subscribing and see you in the next video.